Well, it's Tuesday, and you all know what that means. As you probably know, we have NXT taking about. Now, I'm just going to focus on NXT for this particular episode, so there's no other reviews they're going to be due. So it's just one review on this one episode, and of course, on news updates. But for NXT, of course, we have, of course, a number one contendership who will face Stephanie Vaquer at Battleground. Will it be Julia or will it be Jordan Grace? And then we have, of course, a 25-man battle royale who will be the winner to take on Obafemi at Battleground. So a lot of things will be taken. And of course, as you know, Joe Hendry, who's been making his presence known in NXT, well, let's just say that his rivalry with Trick Williams is now escalated. But we'll get to that as well. And then, as always, we will keep up with our news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Rezo Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Rezo Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us. So click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough with the yapping. It's time to reach for the sky. So, as I mentioned before, we only have a one review episode only. So let's begin with, of course, NXT. All right, NXT. We opened up with, of course, with a six-man tag team match. Our current NXT tag team champions, Hank Walker, Tank Ledger, better known as Hank and Tank, they team up with the TNA World Champion Joe Hendry to take on Dark State. The ones who participated in this match, this is a four-man unit. We have James Cutler, Dion Lennox, and Osiris Griffin. Now, the only reason this match happened, as you guys saw what happened last week, Joe Hendry was attacked by Dark State to send a message. However, Hank and Tank decided to, of course, to team up with them because they don't appreciate the fact what Dark State had been doing. Now, of course, things would have gone exactly according to plan. I mean, Dark State are a very top and very dangerous group, but unfortunately, the moment was ruined thanks to Trick Williams, who cost the match, allowing for Dark State to pick up the win. Joe Hendry and Trick Williams took their little feud out in the back, leaving, of course, Tank and Tank by themselves in a 3-on-2 scenario. But it was, of course, Tank who ended up on the wrong side of a power bomb by Lennox, but pinned by Kurt, Cutler James. Now, I'm not sure if Dark State have any intentions to challenge Hank and Tank for the NXT tag team belts because, as you know, they pinned them. So we'll see how that rolls up. Now, in the backstage area, Carmen Petrovic was having a nice girl talk with Thea Hill, questioning her what she did about herself to Ashantadina Adonis, like thinking that she might have did the right thing. But Thea said, look, you don't need distractions right now because they're always there to not fulfill what you need to go. However, Jada Parker shows up acting like, look who's talking, that sort of thing, because she feels, Thea, you may have come back, but things have changed. And that's always been the case. They're telling Thea things have changed because no one wants it there. Well, she chose to come back, but of course, Carmen and Jada Parker will meet each other later on in the ring. Now, No Quarter Catch Crew, you may have heard what's been going on recently. Well, they were announced that they will be participating in the upcoming Battle Royale, which of course will be the number one contender who will face Obafemi. But Charlie Dempsey made it perfectly clear it's every man for themselves. He's, as you know, Charlie is not an idiot. He knows how things will roll up. So we'll see about that. Now, our next match, Kalani Jordan takes on Zaira. As you all know, recently Kalani Jordan looks more like she is trying to determine to get back the belt that she lost, which is the NXT Women's North American Championship. But it seems like she is trying to get through Sol So Zaira is like, I'm stepping up the game. But the one crazy moment in this match is, of course, when Kalani Jordan and Sol were already in each other's faces. Uh, Zarya kind of speared Kalani Jordan right through the barricade, and Soruka was shocked what she just witnessed. But of course, Zarya picked up the win when she applied the F5 on her, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. Ooh, excuse me, guys. Now, Tony D'Angelo, as you know, he's been dealing with what's been going on with Stacks, but all of his son, Wesley, who thinks he's better than everyone, decides to get involved. But however, Tony D'Angelo doesn't have any time with Wesley or his idiots, Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Eway, because those three will be involved in the Battle Royal as well. Now, speaking of the Battle Royal, we had everyone there making their way. Javon Evans, Ethan Page, uh, but the person who made his surprise appearance was Elijah. I wasn't expecting that. Now, anything could happen in the battle royal. I mean, anyone could happen, even the ones that you don't expect, the ones that you did not bet on. But one thing that was interesting, Joe Hendry, as you know, showed up, costing Trick Williams an opportunity at the NXT title because, as you know, Trick Williams got involved in his business once again. Well, Joe Hendry decided to repay her favor and leading, of course, Trick Williams to be eliminated. However, the person who picked up the win is Miles Bourne when he got rid of both Ethan Page and Sean Spears. So he gets an opportunity. Now, in the back, we did see Stephanie Vaquer talking to Lola Vice. Now, Stephanie Vaquer is not sure who will walk out, but things will be all right from there. But however, Julia stakes her claim that she will regain the NXT Women's title. But only time will tell till we get to that. Now, our we do see an interview with Jordan Grace. As you know, she will be participating in the number one contendership for the NXT Women's Championship. However, it seems that she was being interrupted by both Izzy Dame and Lash Legend. But Jordan Grace told her that if she does win the title, then she'll be coming for both of them. So we'll see where that leads us from there. Now, Jada Parker versus Carmen Petrovic. As you know what happened earlier, Carmen Petrovic has been questioning about her distractions, but due to her association with Dale, many other women wrestlers in the NXT locker room do not appreciate the fact that, of course, Dale has back, but she acts like nothing has changed. But of course, Carmen was willing to speak for herself if that's the case. But Jada Parker was able to take her out with the hit night, and just like that, it was over. However, Jada Parker decided to once again to destroy Carmen, but they held took a bullet for her. And you probably guess where this is going to go. Most likely, we will see a special match in Battleground, or maybe in a pre-kickoff show. We don't know. We'll see where that goes. Now, General Manager Ava was not entirely happy about the things that have been going on with, of course, Joe Hendry and Trick. So, however, Ava made it clear that she had a little nice conversation with the director of authority, Santino Morella. She said that, they're going to have for the first time ever the TNA World Heavyweight title defended in NXT in Battleground. So he will face against Trick Williams. So that's going to be interesting to see. Now, Tyson DuPont, and Tyreek Egoic seems like they're up to their tricks. We don't know what it is, but we did see a little later, of course, in Josh Briggs and Yoshiko Anemura. Of course, there's been some miscommunications in the battle royale, which I alluded, but Inamara felt that he wasn't the right partner. And then, of course, here comes Brooks Jensen along with Nico Vance and, of course, Easy Dane. Brooks Jensen saying, "You keep saying it's the partner's fault what happened, but maybe the reality is it's you." So basically, Brooks Jensen saying, maybe the reason you don't trust partners isn't because you don't trust them, it's because of you. You're the reason. So basically, I don't know what Josh Briggs would think, but we'll see. Now, of course, no quarter catch crew are happy with the result. Now, it seems like, Charlie Dempsey has been trying to get this opportunity to pass on to Miles Bourne. But, however, Obafemi showed up. Even Miles Bourne was attempting to have a three-way match, but Oba had enough of it, so they might treat it differently. Now, we did see, of course, Chase U back. It seems that, of course, Professor Chase U students Kyle Dixon and Uriah Connor are, of course, are giving him a bit of a makeover. So I don't know what uniform will make him look good, but we'll see. I think many of us are kind of curious about that, so we'll see. Now our main event is the NXT Women's Championship in a number one contendership. Julia versus Jordan Grace. Of course, these two women are fantastic. You probably can guess a lot of things. Julia, we all know her reputation dating back to New Japan, former white belt champion, red belt with Stardom, and other championships that she was able to obtain. But however, she has to deal with the Juggernaut, who is a very strong opponent that doesn't back down from anything. But of course, they've been going back and forth. But in the end, it was Jordan Grace with the Juggernaut driver, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, Jordan Grace won the match. So basically, she'll meet Stephanie Vaquer, but of course, Stephanie Vaquer showed up in the post match, telling her, "You're my new opponent, so I'll see you in Battleground." So that sort of thing. So we'll see what happens next week as we build up all the way to Battleground. But as of right now, let's end things here and move on with the last and final thing, news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So let's begin, as always, with upcoming events. As you know, we're not that far off from the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling event, the Northern Rising, on the 10th of May. It was announced that, of course, we have two things. First one, they added the personal consigliere, George Eisman, will be participating. It's the same guy who's been managing Ash by Elegance and now Heather. So he will be participating in this event. And then, of course, the first ever Maple Leaf Women's Canadian Championship will be crowned. Will it be Giselle Shaw, or will it be, of course, Kylie Ray? That's something we definitely will see. Jersey Championship Wrestling, for their Mayflower event on the 11th of May, has announced Charles Mason taking on Jackson Drake. Many of you may know him from the WWE ID prospect, so he will be participating. GCW's big time event in Maryland has announced Joey Janela will be teaming up with Mr. Danger. They face off against the Koger brothers, Otis and Atticus Koger. We do have, of course, another entry name for the upcoming NWA Crockett Cup tournament on the 17th of May. The entrance is Nightmare Syndicate, consisting of a guy named Frank and, of course, Zion, along with Austin Idol as their manager being there. Wrestling Revolver has announced for their Let Us Cook event that's supposed to happen on the 17th of May. Well, it was revealed that they were pushed back one day behind on the 18th of May. So mark that in your calendars. Now, as you all know, there's an event that has been announced from WWID, called a showcase event that will take place in June. Let me pull up the information on that real quick. All right, so this will happen in Long Island, New York, in New York City. Then here's who they signed: Timothy Thatcher, Kylie Ray, Swipe Ripes of Brad Taylor and Ricky Smokes, Sean Legacy, Marcus Mathers, Jackson Drake, Zara Zaka, and there'll be more to be announced. And this is part of the WWE title tournament that will take place. So, yeah, that's what we do know. So that's pretty much right now what we have for our upcoming events. Let's move on to some developments here. First things first, let's give a congratulations to Big E and his fiance Chris Yem, who is the sister of Mia Yim. They just announced their engagement. So, congratulations, guys. Pete Dunne has announced that the birth of his second child. So, congratulations, Pete Dunne. You're a father for a second time. They haven't revealed what the gender of the baby is, but nonetheless, we're very happy for him. Now, many of you know this that Tetsuya Naito just recently on May 4th has had his final match with New Japan. Well, Tokyo Sports reports that he will be going undergo surgery for his left eye that will happen some point on the 7th of May, which it is happening right now. So that's interesting. But he also will be getting stem cell treatment for his right knee. For many of you who know this, Naito had issues with his eye and, of course, his knee. So that's something common we know about him. I hope the only reason he's doing this is to, of course, move on to the next stage. They haven't mentioned where he's going to go, but anything's possible. Cora Jade has, you probably know, been released from WWE. Well, it appears now that she is launching an OnlyFans page using her old independent name known as Alana Black, and this happened right after she was released from the company. The Righteousness, as you know, recently just left AEW. It turned out that they requested their release not too long ago, and they just gave it to them anyway. So the split was amicable, nothing to like, oh, you owe me money, that sort of thing. But the Righteouses do have the opportunity to come back, but not as members of of the roster. So that's something we do know. Now, Wrestling Observer has announced that Joe Hendry and the Hardys will be making their appearances on the upcoming Triple Mania event. I'm excited for that. It's going to be real fun to watch. Now, many of you may know I talked about Stephanie Vaquer, about a little situation that was arise. As you know, WWE decided to contract one of the female wrestlers named La Hiedra, or known as in translation the Ivory. Now, La Hiedra has a personal grudge against Stephanie Vaquer. From what sources are telling, is that La Hiedra is dating the brother of the attacker who attacked Stephanie Vaquer, her ex-boyfriend. It appears that, of course, there's been harassment from not only her, but also from the attacker's brother and, of course, his cousin. So basically, there's that. But it was also reported that Stephanie Vaquer has a restraining order on them. Now, I'm sure WWE are fully aware. Hopefully, they are resolving the situation. But um, hopefully Lahedra doesn't screw herself up over a petty payback for what happened. Now, some of you may question, why is this woman doing this to Stephanie Vaquer? If you guys remember, I mentioned Conan thinks that Stephanie Vaquer lied about the allegations. I mean, if there was a lie, I mean, it we've been there was no word about his, of course, was he innocent or anything. The guy spent 2 years in prison and he was actually released in this past April. So the family believes that it was her fault. Conan thinks that she ruined his career, but that's how things go. Now, many of you may have heard about Riley Osbourne. I mentioned this. He was one of the few releases from WWE. It turns out that they the initial assumption is that he was let go because he refused to be involved in the Involved show. However, Riley Osbourne was not the case. He mentioned that this had nothing to do with it. Apparently, he wanted to spend more time with his wife. Many of you know his wife is Blair Davenport, formerly known as B. Priestley. So yeah, so that's what we do know. But not anything about that, we'll see. Sorry, guys. So I think that's pretty much it. So let's just call it a day. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Coming up, as you probably know, we have AW Dynamite, WWE Evolve, and of course, Takachi Mania is back. I can't wait to review that one for all of you. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, some of you may question how come I did not do any other reviews. Well, the truth to be told, I got sidetracked with something that I needed to do. Um, this was something not a big situation, but it was something that my parents have been yapping to deal with for quite some time, and unfortunately, I took care of it, but it took a bit of my time, so I was unable to do anything else. Just focus on NXT. So decided just to do that. So hopefully you guys can understand. But as for our next episode, we will have AW Dynamite, Evolve, and of course, Takachi Mania will be one of the three priorities. So we'll see how things will roll up. But as of right now, we'll end things here and move. And of course, I will say this: I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.